Good evening, folks. This is E-Man's Emporium's second annual review video for the year 2025. And my name's Emmanuel, if you couldn't tell. Let's get into it. On the agenda, we have a little breakdown on sales, the market outlook, inventory, my up-to-date strategy, and goals. Goals from last year, moving into next year, and some future reaching goals. Sales. This isn't just sales. This is, I guess, the financial breakdown. But total invested since the business started was $8,629. This includes everything that I've spent on this business. So it's collections, shipping, storage, stamps, shipping, sleeves, envelopes, paper, things like that, shipping tape, anything that goes into this business, it's there. That's the total we've spent. The listing price total as of 2025, December 31st, the end of the year, was $6,729. That's my listed price on TCG Player. I didn't include eBay or Facebook. They're much smaller figures, and that's okay. It's like minuscule. TCG Player is my big one with 15,000 something cards listed today. Total cards sold last year were 11,477. It was down about 5,000 cards, and much of that were bulk sales that were different. Another thing about bulk this year is I actually built a bulk pile. We'll cover that some more later. But anyways, the gross sales for the business were 2,649, and the income from that was 2,261. Let's see, CGRS is very, very, very small at $3.50 because I was not buying things to resell this year. I barely bought anything. It was the year was focused on listing and selling, getting to the green. That was the goal. Shipping costs were $802. Most of that was stamps. Stamps are going up about every 6 months. Total expenses this year were $1,051. A few of the big ones were Microsoft Office, my PO box. Total spent on collections for inventory, $5. I only bought one. It was a collection that was brought to me from a friend of my wife. So I didn't go look for it. I turned down many. We'll cover that some more. But net income this year was $1,208. So made more than we spent, and made a good dent into the goal from last year. Here's an example sale. I like to include these. This is from TCG Player, and if I go back, I can look and see how fees and shipping and stuff have changed. So here's another one for you folks to look at if you'd like. My last single sale was a Plasma Storm Joltik, number 50 out of 135, and it was moderately played. I believe I paid 3 cents for this card. It's a bulk Pokemon card, so it's about 3 cents. I listed it for 32. The customer paid an additional $1.31 for shipping for a gross total of $163. TCG Player took 50 cents in fees. My net income was $1.13. Then I subtract out the stamp, envelope, paper, and a couple penny sleeves. So my total take home there was 30 cents. So my cost for that item there was 35 cents. And my net gain there's 30. Okay. And that margin is it's 1,000% or 10 times in what I paid for the card. I'm pretty happy with that. That's what's fun about these small cards. But one of my focuses, I mentioned it last year, was chasing the whale. So the bulk is nice to fill up my collection and sell with high dollar singles. I noticed that a lot with Pokemon. Somebody will buy a card for $1.99, and they don't want to pay this $1.31 for shipping. And I don't blame them. That's awful. They're better off buying a few more cards to hit $5 to get free shipping. And a lot of them do that. I move a lot of cards for a quarter which I know people are filling out their orders to hit $5. So it's great. It's great for me, great for them. They save on the shipping, they get a better deal, and I get to move more product. But in chasing the whale, I need those cards that are like actually gonna make some money. For example, I sold a base set Venusaur at a card show, $80 cash. Boom, right there. That was great. I didn't pay any fees on that. I had to pay for the show, but you know, that $80 was how many of these? 60 something? Like, or sorry, I netted net 30. It was it 240, give or take? 240 sales? It's more than that to match that one Venusaur sale. So I want to keep focusing on the whale. I want to focus on the big card. My bulk I'm going to tune, but that's talk for later. So a little bit of market discussion. Our markets change every day. I'm fascinated by markets, and that's why I kind of do this on the side. It's a hobby and it's fun. I'm trying to treat it like a real business, but I don't expect this to pay for my house. And neither should you. If you get into this type of thing, you should definitely approach this with caution. It's a lot of work. The economy is hurting everywhere. I'm sure we all know that in the United States. I sold less cards this year compared to last year, though that's mostly a reduction of bulk sales on Marketplace. I live in an area where it's not as wealthy as other areas. I can't move cards as easily as richer areas. But I did notice a drop in sales this year over last year, and I blame our market for that, our economy. Let's see. My bulk is no longer being tracked on a single card basis anymore. So if I determine a card is bulk, I'm subtracting it from my inventory tracker, which we're going to bring up in a few slides. Subtract it out, it's moved to a bulk pile, and that bulk pile can be mixed up. I can sell it by weight, I can sell it by size, I can sell it by the handful. I don't want to track those cards individually anymore. I just want to be able to fill a box and sell it. And that's just better for everybody. When somebody asks me what's in the box, I'm going to go, I don't know, it's bulk. And I mix up everything that comes in, it all gets mixed. So they're getting a nice diverse bulk from me. I'm happy with it. It's a good product. I'm pretty sure Facebook Marketplace was throttling, not just me, but throttling like their own marketplace through the month of December. I can't prove it, but my views were like 0 to 10 on some of my items, down from like a couple hundred. And then right after Christmas, they all shot back up. I sold some bulk right after Christmas. I was like, it looks like they did it. I don't know. I can't prove that, but it is what it is. We're past it, and my sales come back in. I'm just, yeah, something that this ties in the economy and markets. I wish I had an alternative to Facebook Marketplace. I don't have one. I could just dump the product at a card show, really, really cheap, but I get a better deal on Marketplace. Craigslist is dead. eBay's way too competitive. So I'm using it for now. It is what it is. Really, the best thing I can do with it is like if I meet a new player, I can get them a good, well-mixed batch of bulk, and they're usually happy to buy it off me because they get such a wide range of cards that they can build a bunch of decks and play at home and get a feel for the game. That's really how I like to move it. I'll throw in lands for free. Like here, yeah, have 150 lands and go play to your heart's content, you know. Once you're ready for moving up, you let me know and we'll go from there. But card shows are amazing. I wish I did these sooner. I vendored at my first one in July. A little bit before that, like I think it was the weekend before I went to my first one. And you learn so much at these. Just walk in and look at the displays. You're going to learn just from that. Listen to people talk to each other. Look at what they're taking pictures of. And network. You can network at these without being a vendor. You go talk to the vendors. You can talk to other customers, buyers. You shouldn't be trying to sell at the show unless you are a paid customer there. Like you have to buy that spot. That is unethical. But people do it. You can trade business cards there and talk after the show. I think the networking was the biggest thing. I had one person who offered me a spot at a private card show. That was really cool. I couldn't accept it that day. I had some other stuff going on. Um, Hope maybe in the future, but it was really cool. It was like, yeah, it's us and total like 20 people. They rent a venue, and I never would have known about that unless he asked me. So you got to go to card shows to have opportunities pop up. You're not going to find them on Marketplace usually. Like you're more like to find them at card shows. So you got to go. You got to go. That's even if you don't vendor. If you vendor, it's a whole other thing. You're there. You get to meet the customers in the area, the people who are playing. Ask them what they like about these games. You've got a your own like test sample right there to ask them like what do you like. Look at what they look at. Look at what they touch. Look at what they pick up. Because you can't see that on eBay. eBay might show you 100 reviews. Marketplace might show you 100 reviews, but you don't know what they looked at. From these shows, I can see what dice sets people liked. I can see how they liked certain things in my binders. What prices made their faces go, ooh, and what prices made them go, hmm. Hopefully you can tell from my voice, like, the difference in that. But it's important. You got to go. You got to meet people. Do it. Do it now. Do it yesterday. Card shows. I wish I did. My plan for next year is one every other month. And let's talk Pokemon vs. Magic. Look, Magic, I love you. I love you very much, but I can't, I don't like what you've become. You know, I feel like you're my teenager who had all this potential. You were wicked smart, beautiful, unique product. And, you had it made. All the businesses were clamoring to get you. They all wanted you. And you turned to drugs. Now nobody wants to be around you. And those drugs are universes beyond. I don't like it. Don't like it at all. I don't think it's good for the long-term health of Magic the Gathering. People are buying them, but that doesn't mean it's good. Soda, alcohol, marijuana, like these things are, people buy them. Doesn't mean they're good. Not good for you. It might not be good for society. But that's just my opinion. However, it's reinforced with how well Pokemon sells. I can move low dollar Pokemon cards easier than low dollar Magic cards. Magic is a competitive game, and only the competitive cards really have velocity. Pokemon is a collectible game, and you can see it. It has way more people buying cards for it. People walk up to a Pokemon stand and just buy a pack of Pokemon cards, but yeah, this is for my nephew. They don't have to know anything about it. They'll do that. Magic is like, well, I don't know if he needs these cards or not, so I gotta pass. And with that, I'm definitely going to try to make Pokemon a little bit heavier in my inventory. So we're gonna move into, yeah. So my purchases for inventory this year, again, my goal was to get in the green before buying anything, but I broke that. I bought 2 things and picked up 1 free thing. Let's see. So the stacks of VHS tapes that I got, it was a free lot, and I got probably like 200 tapes. I can't say no to that. Excuse me. There's a tiny $5 collection that I bought. It was a friend of my wife brought it to us, and she was just gonna give it to us, but I was like, this is a real business to me. I'm going to resell these. Let me give you at least $5. And she said okay, and I had to give her something. It was only like 1,500 cards. It wasn't nothing crazy in there. They're all listed already, or bulked. I bulked out some of them. Then I saw a backpack at JCPenney. I think, no, it was Old Navy. It was a Pokemon backpack, and I was like, oh my god, and it had a pack of cards in it. I was like, I gotta buy that. I threw my stuffs in there. It's up on the shelf. But you gotta enjoy the product too, and I thought it was really neat. I'm gonna bring that to the next event I go to, and that's it. That's all I bought all year. My focus last year and my focus this year is it's finishing these listings. Everything needs to be listed. Everything needs to be organized. It needs to be basically autopilot, low maintenance. A monkey can do it. My card totals end of year. 2023 on the end here to 2024, 2025. You can take a look at these. Basically, my Magic's going down because I bulked some out and I sold some bulk. Bulking out as in I subtracted from inventory, moved it to the bulk pile. I'm tracking it no longer in these figures. I don't care about it. It's just bulk. I'll treat it as weight. If I get too much of it, I'll figure out how to dump it. But it's bulk. It doesn't matter. Pokemon's moving up. I would like to keep seeing this trend. I think I'm going to go for like 40% Pokemon, 30 Magic, 30 other. Or we'll do like 40, 30, 20, 10. And that 10 is going to be like CDs, not music. I mean like certificates of deposit with a bank. A way to hedge these cards safely, low maintenance, low fees, diversified in the market. I think that's good for this type of business to think about. Because you're going to get lulls like we do with Magic, where Universes Beyond is selling, but it's not good for the game. Pokemon, there's not enough product, and I might not be able to get it if I link up with a supplier today. I might not be in their quotas for a while. I'm like, oh, I'm stuck with this cash. What am I doing? I might need to stick in a CD. When I hit my totals where it's like 40, 30, 30, there might be times where it's 40, 30, 20, 10. And that's because I can't find product at a reasonable price. Let it, instead of it sitting in cash, throwing it to a market fund or a CD is a great plan. And that'll be probably like 2027, 2028, 2030, and that's in the future. This needs to get cleaned up first. Which leads right into the strategy. We talked a little bit about it with the 40, 30, 30, 40, 30, 20 discussion. The strategy it's very straightforward. It's list, sell, reinvest. We can add buy to this. You can do buy, list, sell, repeat. But where I'm at right now is list everything I have, let things sell, reinvest the profits. That's it. That's all we're doing. The focus will be limited. I don't want to be dealing with 10, 20, 50 different types of products. So I'm going to look at collections. I get the most pennies on the dollar. I get the best deals with collections. But they are wild. Like they're literally in the wild. So I might see one on Marketplace. I might talk to somebody at a store. I might talk to somebody at work and be able to pick one up. And I can't guarantee that. I could spend hours on eBay scrolling. I could spend hours on Facebook scrolling. Or I could focus on number 2 here. Something more consistent. That's sealed cases. If I can buy cases from a store, I can get the most bang for my buck as far as sealed product goes. Usually get like a little bit of a bulk discount. And with the cases, what I can do is like open 2 or 3 and resell 2 or 3 and then keep one for later. I could go up, it could go down to kind of like hedge it. You know how they go up to that. So like the CDs, I could start moving into keeping some sealed product. The ones I open will become my inventory. Like what's the difference between buying sealed and collections? I'm getting singles. So if I get them sealed, hopefully they're near mint. They're all from one set, so they're easier to organize. They're easier to add. I know what I'm getting. They're not going to smell. They're brand new cards. But I could even do like, I crack 2 and I list all the singles. I crack 1 to sell the packs at a card show. There's some synergy here with these 3, and that's what I want to focus on. I can bring the last one I had in reserve that I keep to the card show. Like, yep, I have one right there. I don't have a bunch of them, but I have one. The 2 or 3 that I try to resell quickly, I want to try to resell them on like TCG Player, eBay, or Facebook Marketplace even. I want to move them quicker, whereas the one in reserve is like, it's an investment, so there's a line there. I should have drawn some boxes over here. That would have been great to add. Let's actually, hold on, check this out. I can pause this because I'm recording and I can add that in. Isn't this cool? Let's see, where's the button? It's gotta be over here somewhere, right? Is it gone? Did OBS take that? I don't know. I'm gonna leave this in. You guys can hear me messing around. Stop. Yeah, I'm just see the pause button. I guess I can't do that. Not quickly, anyways. Hold on. I have a trick. So, boom, paint. Yeah, on the slideshow we can do this. It's pretty cool. So when you buy a case of trading cards, you usually get 6 boxes. It'll be something like this. Oops, not that one. One. See, do something like this. You get like 6 of them. See what I'm saying? I like that. So you get your 6 boxes that are sealed. They're sealed in a case. Cases are less likely to get like messed with too. They're harder to reseal, and then you have to reseal all 6 of these. Like it's a little more difficult. So it's a safer product for me to buy, and the bulk deal I get on them is great too. And what I'm thinking of doing is something like, we'll open these too. Oops, something like that. Can I do this, please? Can I move it? Thank you. So like I'll open these 2 singles. I'll resell these 2 just as is. Don't open them, nothing. Remember, this saves me time too. I'm saving time by not dealing with opening these. I just resell them. Boom, boom. Make a little bit. 5% would be amazing. I'll take 2% on it because it's like a way to make up on the whole case and have cash flow. So these are slow on TCG Player. These are hopefully pretty quickly on Marketplace. And then these 2 in reserves. It's kind of like, let's see what's going on. Maybe I will crack one and move it to TCG Player because the price is going down in the box. I'm like, I gotta hit whatever I can hit. Or I'll just like, oh shoot, I'll sell one more on Marketplace as a whole case because it's better. Who knows? Maybe it's slow and steady. And the next year they've gone up 5%. The next year another 5. The next year another 5. And I list them later and I make, 15, 20% on them as a hedge to go with here. So in my 10% down there, it's like hedged cases. Yeah, that's the idea. Discussion point, we got to have some cash reserves to do moves like this. So just because I hit the green doesn't mean I immediately want to spend every penny I make. I'd like to build up like a 10% or so cash reserve that I can use if somebody brings me a collection. Or if I see a good deal in a case, I can just scoop it up. I can use those cash reserves at card shows to buy cards. People bring their collections to sell at card shows. So there's a lot of value in these. You got to go to these. That way these are all working together. You get people to add you on Instagram and they're talking to their friends about cards, then they message you. So networking takes time. Card shows are the best way to meet the people you're looking for. But I gotta have those cash reserves. So with an inventory of like $10,000 listed, I'm gonna want about $1,000 that just sits there in cash at all times. $1,000 is also pretty good. Like for what I have listed, I think that's kind of how I want to scale it. If I had $100,000 listed, I'd want like 10 grand sitting there. The reason being is like that's the size of a collection that I'm willing to buy and assimilate. Somebody might have a Black Lotus listed for $8,500 and it's worth 10,000, and I just don't have it. It's like it's too much for me to risk on this side business, even though it's a great deal. I don't know. I just can't do it. I got a family. But when I hit the point where the cash reserves can cover things like that, I'll know I built it, that the business can do it, and it's okay to take that risk at that point. If my cash reserves are not at the 10%, I know I'm not buying anything. I'm only selling until that is at least 10%. You got to have automatic logistical indicators and keys and triggers like that in your business so that it's all autopilot and it's easy to maintain and a monkey can do it. Or I could hire somebody to do this, or like I could teach my kid to do this when she gets older. Like, hey, look, can you just look at these numbers real quick? And she can be like, yes, here they are, ABC. And I can go, great, what do you think we should do? You have to have it set up in a way where it's transferable. That's a good business model, Let's move into goals. That was one of our goals, but from last year, my goals were get in the green. We made about 1,200. We needed 19, made 12. I got like 650 to go, almost there. That I can truly say it was a profitable business, even not when you factor time in, but it will if it's very low maintenance in the long run get there. It's also a lot of fun, so pick and choose your battle. Form an LLC, I did that. I need to make the bank account for the LLC this year and do the filing. This is my first one. Get everything listed. I went from 3% to 25%. It was a good dent. I listed a little every day. I'm going to keep doing that. Set up the P.O. box. I did do that. That's come in handy a couple times. Get a new mailbox. I did not do that. But we painted it. It looks very pretty. I'm going to fix the door here the next week or so. And I'm happy with that. Try new platforms. Claim sales. I looked for these. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I can't find these anymore on Facebook. Did they go away? Did I not look hard enough? I'm not sure. Try card shows. I did that. That was a great success. I'm going to aim for more next year. Whatnot. I took a look at Whatnot and TikTok sales. I just don't think those are for me yet. I think I need a larger inventory for it to be worth the time of like doing that. But I think I will do something like that in the future. Those markets are very saturated now. They're getting more and more saturated. TCG Player is working for me at this pace. Like I just like the pace that I'm working. I don't see a reason to change it. I might be willing to try one next year or the year after just because, but I'm not losing sleep over them. Next year goals, we can just ignore this. Forgot to delete it. This has nothing to do with my presentation. But over here on the left, get in the green. Again, we need $650 in sales or net profit, and I think I'm going to get there this year. That would be half of what I did last year, so I think I'll get there. Complete the listings. I'm up from 3% to 25, which is great. The like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh, I'm not as familiar with those, and those are listed. They take a little longer. I do a little bit at a time, like an hour or so every day or every other day. Like 2 out of 3 days I'm listing. I take like every third day off, give or take. And I can get between 100 and 500 cards listed in a day. It depends on how they stack up, so it's kind of hard to predict, but I'm working at it at a nice pace, and I like it. But I want to get everything listed before I'm willing to buy anything. So if I need 2 things. I need to be in the green, and everything is listed. 3 things. Apologize. The business is in the green. All existing products are listed or dealt with, aka bulk is in the bulk pile if it is bulk. And third is listing everything else that's going to get listed on eBay. That's like Beanie Babies and Legos, little toys, games, things that I have kicking around that I was like, these are part of E-Man's Emporium. Well, I want all of those listed as well before I'm willing to buy anything with E-Man's Emporium's money. A fourth one that's not relevant to the business, but it is for myself because of how much time I have in the day, is I need to complete my last odds and ends projects that I have. An example of this is I have a 125-gallon fish tank in my living room. The stand is built for it and it's on it, but the filter needs to be built. It stresses me out when I walk by that tank every single time. I need to do that so I'm not stressed out by that tank, so I can focus on my business. I've done good at not like letting the home bother me. You know, if you have your own home, homes take a lot. You have a lot to maintain. I'm good at like keeping that separate, but for some reason that aquarium irks me. So I need to get that done. I also have a big pile of metal outside that I need to take to the scrapyard. And another one is none of my VHS tapes are listed in my Excel sheet, which has everything else on it. Neither are my tools. I want my tools in the Excel list as well. I had this idea like way back when I started the business was if somebody came to my emporium, is that I have things to rent out as well, other things to draw them in, not just trading cards. Physical media and tools were the 2. It's gonna sound crazy, but like if somebody comes in to rent a air hammer from me, I'd like them to be able to check out a movie to watch when they're done their work. I know. That was the vision. That's a like pipe dream. I might do this in retirement I might never do this. It's okay. Um, my regular day job is fine for my living. This is for fun, but I think it's fun. I treat it real, and there is a real vision for where this could go and grow. So to tie up that thought, those VHS tapes must be listed in my Excel spreadsheet as well, so I know my full inventory. That's item number 4. When those 4 things are done, I would be willing to buy trading cards again. Until then, I'm not willing to buy anything. So I need to get in the green and complete everything on the side. Basically, that's my goals for this year. From there, it would be all maintenance. It would be open up TCG Player, eBay, my email, see if I have anything. If I don't, I go dust the shelves and call it a day. If I do, I pack up and sell them. Look at my cash reserves. Am I at 10% of my inventory? If so, is there anything to buy? No. Okay, let's get a small CD. Like that would be the flow of the business. Very low maintenance. I can kind of wiggle the time. Like TCG Play gives you like a 2 or 3 business day window to ship a card. eBay gives you like a week. So I can kind of like do all right, Wednesdays and Saturdays I'll pack orders and that's it. I just count on those 2 days and work in my schedule. It's taken a long time to get there and to understand that is how I should do it. But it's very attainable, and it will be it'd be real. It'd be just good. Like it's like having a reliable daily driver for a vehicle. You know it's gonna get you there, and this is gonna get me there. This is gonna pay for me to go play games if I want, which leads into future goals here. So next year goals get this done. Future goals being like the year after or further. I'd like to get back to playing in some type of a social setting. My dilemma is I don't like where Magic is at, and I haven't for a long time. I don't. It's not fun for me to play 4-player Commander. I really don't like Universes Beyond. So I'm considering Catan. I like Catan a lot, but there's no tournaments up here. I'd have to travel for them, and I could do that, and I could pay for that with business money. Still competitive gaming. Poker is another one. I do like Texas Hold'em. I got a lot to learn about that one, but I could pay for entrance fees by selling trading cards and be happy with it. Third is Pokemon. Playing. I've actually never really played it. It's been described to me as Magic the Gathering Light. So I'm not sure if I'll really like it as much as other games, but I do like Pokemon, so maybe I'll play a little bit of that, especially with my daughter when she gets a little older. I could see us getting that together, and maybe some people say like everything happens for a reason. Maybe that's why Magic has to die, so that I can learn to love and enjoy playing Pokemon with my daughter. Not to be too dramatic, but um, you never know. I'd also like to build my own website. I toyed with Wix in the past, but I need a spot that's mine where I'm not paying fees to sell cards, but I can assemble all the other information that I want to put together too. Um, I want to put together my own articles and my own deck building guides, my own inventory management guides, my own Excel spreadsheets and Word templates, and I want to put them all together. And not quite a blog, but kind of like a toolkit website, as well as like Manuel has cases at this price, and here's his buy list. They're all right there. Pictures and event info, events that I'm vendoring at, or sharing other business pages. I'm first off, I'm really tired with like Facebook throttling my sales through December. That I hate that. I can't. I want to get away from all the big internet, but the internet's still important. Like the internet is a very powerful tool, so I'm willing to start building my website on the side, and just like networking, it takes time. Google can decide they don't like you, and you'll just never be listed. And you got to hope that Bing and Firefox show you. But I think it's important to have just as a tool. So sometime in the future, I do want to build one. A mobile store. This ties into the card shows. And the brick and mortar. I tried the brick and mortar thing while I was in college, juggling a lot. Had some family stuff pop up, and I had to stop that. Like before that brick and mortar could even take a breath, it just didn't take off. It never got, it wasn't crawling, let alone walking, let alone running, and that is okay. But a mobile store, something like a retail trailer that I could bring to, like I could sell it on my front lawn. I could go lease a parking lot. I can bring it to card shows. That might be something that's worth exploring. That ties in the media club. Maybe bringing some of that with me to show that product is a way to get people to visit my website to check out a movie or to come to my location and check things out. If I do this in the way that I'm picturing, I would move locations basically once a month and be able to link up with the people who have checked out some of my physical media. I'd have to do like long-term rentals, but yeah, you can check out this movie. You'll have it for 3 months. Don't lose it. You can mail it to me or come drop it off. I'm not charging you extra, but when I come out that way for the weekend, I need it back. There's a lot of risk to that. That's just like the idea. But even just tossing the idea out there, getting them to come to me, there might be something there. Who knows? And then design a game. This whole thing is about trading cards. I'm a gamer on the side. I want to make my own game someday. I toss ideas on paper sometimes about what I'd make. It wouldn't be a trading card game. Or would it? Maybe it's a video game. Maybe it's a turn-based strategy game. I don't know. Like chess and magic and poker all had to baby some weird mutant. Who knows? But I could see myself doing that way off in the future. Let's see. I think it's all I have. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah, thank you, folks. This was my 2025 annual review for E-Men's Emporium. Things are looking good. I am confident for next year, and I'm confident for my business future. Being successful in the way that I want it to be successful. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to toss me an email. It's there. That's my business one. My QR code is there as well. You can message me on Facebook or Instagram. You can check out my TCG player, my eBay. I stream video games sometimes, and I make YouTube content like this video, as well as like what goes into buying a collection, building this business, and all that. That's all there. The views help. Drop a follow, lurk on my Twitch, things like that. That actually helps me a ton. And comments on that content helps bump me up in algorithms. That is very useful. Share the video, share those videos, and I appreciate it. If you are considering doing this at all as a side business or a full-time business, shoot me a message and maybe we can have a phone call or something just to talk about some of the realistic things you got to look for. And here's to next year, 2026. I think it's going to be a good one.